Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you all for being with us. This is a very important oversight hearing about EPA's budget and overall what's going on at EPA, its management practices, how it's being run. This committee obviously has that fundamental oversight responsibility. The starkest example of concerns about how EPA is being run, what I would characterize as a long-term culture at EPA, is the case of the former senior EPA official, John Beal. Of course, he's turned out to be a manipulator and charlatan of renowned proportions. We now know that EPA dithered for years rather than take action against a fake CIA agent who stole over $1 million of taxpayer money. This and other failings are detailed in a series of memoranda issued by my committee staff, which I would like to enter into the record at this time. Thank you. This memorandum exposes an indisputable timeline that raises questions not just about John Beal, about EPA. In January 2011, Ms. McCarthy was informed that Beal had been receiving erroneous bonus payments that actually elevated his salary above a statutory cap, and was advised by her Human Resources staff and legal counsel to cancel the bonus. Instead, she deferred to an EPA official equal to her in rank at the time, allegedly because of uncertainty over Beal's CIA status. However, a senior EPA official directly informed Ms. McCarthy that there were no CIA employees at EPA. While it appears Ms. McCarthy believed the matter was closed when Beal announced his retirement in May 2011, she learned in March 2012 that Beal had not retired and, in fact, collected full pay plus the illegal retention bonus of $42,768. Ms. McCarthy took no action against Beal for nearly a year after this, finally canceling the illegal bonus in February 2013. And instead of firing Beal, Ms. McCarthy allowed him to retire 2 months later with full benefits. Now, it's now clear that Beal also led one of EPA's most significant rulemakings prior to that, the 1997 National Ambient Air Quality Standards for Ozone and Particulate Matter. This effort codified EPA's practice of using fine particulates to inflate alleged benefits of nearly all Clean Air Act regulations. Almost 2 decades later, the agency still refuses to share all the scientific data underpinning these very costly regulations. Collectively, Beal and his best friend Robert Brenner's work on the standards introduced a series of dubious actions that the agency has continued to follow and comprise what my committee staff have referred to as EPA's playbook, as detailed in a comprehensive staff report issued last week on this issue, and I'd like to enter that into the record.
Without objection.
The Obama EPA has embraced the strategies of this playbook and pursued ideologically driven agendas in much the same way as Beal did in the 1990s, pushing through controversial regulations where the ends justify the means. This is done by assenting to sue and settle agreements, excluding public participation, employing heavy-handed management of the interagency review process, inflating purported benefits, and quite frankly, just hiding science. EPA's continued use of the playbook has led to dire consequences for Americans. For example, on March 10th of this year, the New York Times reported on the story of 81-year-old Ernestine Cundiff of Columbus, Ohio, a diabetic with deteriorating health, living on a fixed income. Ms. Cundiff now struggles to pay her energy bills as a direct result of EPA air regulations that have shut down electricity generation in her part of the country. To advance EPA's extreme agenda, it's also clear that this EPA extends its regulatory arm with complete disregard for American taxpayer dollars, and we have many examples of that. These examples of waste and abuse make congressional oversight absolutely critical. That's why this hearing and follow-up work is so enormously important to get at this concerning culture of which, unfortunately, John Beale is just the poster child, not the full extent. Thank you, Madam Chair.